going to be comparing the absorbencies of all the moderate pad brand name pads that we have. So we have Pure to Tire pads, Lazy Creek Petite, Terra pads, Essence of Eve, Wings of Love, Cute and Simple, Mama Jules Gems top core, with the core on top, and then the Mama Jules Gems with no core on top, just in the center. Lady Pad, Femme Rouge, Faith Loaded the Chains, Butterfly Cloth Pads, Mimi's Dreams, Aunt Flo, and Lucky for You. So, let's get started. We have them separated between 8 inches, 9 inches, and 10 inches. What we're going to do is we're going to put a teaspoon of water on each of them, and just so you can see which brands have extra absorbency and just things like that. So let's get started. And 2. And 5. Alright, so let's see how they're doing. Let's start with your end. The Wings of Love is doing fine, completely dry. Good. Cute and Simple's bone dry. Essence of Eve. Yeah. Bone dry. Terra pads, completely dry. And Lazy Creek Boutique, bone dry. I've noticed that the hemp seems to kind of swell when it gets wet. Pure Terra pads, that's completely dry. We'll stay on that. Okay. And 6, here we go. And 10. Oh, okay. So only we're going to go up to 10 with all these. So let's see how they're doing. Start with yours.
Okay, this one is leaked through the back onto
so
the paper towel.
Wings of Love is leaked.
It's not dripping, but yeah, through the back it's wet right there. And that one's pretty good. It's a little wet on around the edges. Yes. Are kind of wet.
You can see it's wet around the edges, but the back is bone dry, so it just kind of leaked around the edges.
Yeah, it might have been from the Wings of Love on here.
We have them in pretty close quarters.
Yeah. The Essence of Eve is dry on the back.
Cool. And now the Terra pads, completely dry, and it feels dry because it is suede cloth. Lazy Creek Boutique is bone dry, dry as a bone. And the Pure Terra pad, it hasn't leaked yet, but you can see just getting dark. It hasn't actually leaked onto the paper towel, but it's probably at its full capacity. So the only ones that actually leaked is the Wings of Love. And I think this one probably has leaked.
Just like around the edge stitching, it kind of leaked.
So the ones that have leaked, so you can see, are these. And I'd say Terra pads, and I think Terra pads is the most absorbent of all the moderate pads so far.
And this one is pretty absorbent too, not wet at the back at all. Not wet on the edges at all.
Yeah. Lazy Creek Boutique can hold quite a bit. It's probably at its full capacity, but it hasn't leaked at all, so that's really great. So I'd say these two are the winners, because these two you can tell are at their full capacity, but they haven't leaked yet. But these two probably can hold a little bit more. So now we're going to do the 9-inch pads. The only reason I'm doing them in inches so we don't have tons of pads to do at once. This is the suede cloth top Mama Jules Gems, cotton top Mama Jules Gems, and this is the core on top. This is a lady pad, this is the Femme Rouge, this is the Faith Loaded the Chains, and the Butterfly Cloth pads. So Minky might take a little bit longer to absorb.
Yeah, and this one doesn't absorb super quickly.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Okay, here we go. And 5. Okay, there we go. So let's see how they're doing. Let's start with yours again.
Butterfly cloth pad is dry on the back. Faith of Daisy Chains is good. And Femme Rouge is dry.
Okay, so the lady pad, completely dry. Very wet on the top though. The Mama Jules Gems is a little water on the back, but I don't think that came from the actual pad. I think that's like from this wing, which got a little wet on it, which is on the back of the pad. So that one hasn't leaked actually yet. Then this is the Mama Jules Gems, the core on the top. Completely, well, actually it's a little moist. But I don't know, we'll have to see. Alright, so 6. And 10. right, so let's start with yours. See how they're doing.
Okay, that's just a little water I spilled there, but it's so dry in the back. I don't feel any moistness.
Yeah, moistness.
And this one looks like it leaked off the bottom here, kind of leaked off there, so that one has leaked. Femme Rouge is still dry.
The lady pad is completely dry, but just it feels so wet to the touch. Like if I just touch it, moisture comes to the top, so it's still holding it, but I don't know if you want to be wearing it, but it definitely hasn't leaked. Mama Jules Gems hasn't leaked, dry. And Mama Jules Gems the core. I think it's starting to leak where the seams are right here, but it's nothing bad. It's just a little moisture. As you can see, it kind of leaked on the seams a little here, but I don't know. It hasn't really leaked, but I think I'm worried about the seams. It might have leaked. So we'll say that this one has leaked just slightly.
So these two have leaked.
I'd say the most absorbent. I would say that this one hasn't really held it because it's still wet on the top, so I wouldn't say that really held it all. So I wouldn't say
The butterfly cloth pad still has a lot of absorbency left in it.
I would say so does the Femme Rouge. This doesn't feel that wet, but the Mama Jules Gems feels very, very wet. So I would say
that doesn't feel the butterfly cloth pad doesn't feel too heavy or saturated at all. It feels like it still has a lot in there. So
out of the 9 inches, these two held a lot. These are the 10 inches now. So this is Mimi's Dreams, this is Aunt Flo, and this is Luppy for You. Luppy for You isn't that well known, but they're very comfortable and very nicely made. So I suggest you check them out.
This one has a PUL back.
This one just has fleece. And this one has PUL, hidden PUL with flannel on the back. So let's just see how they hold up. 1. And 5. Let's see how they're holding up. Start with you.
This one is dry on the back and pretty dry on the front, on the top.
This is the Aunt Flo, completely dry and very dry on the top. This is Mimi's Dreams, dry on the back and dry on the top. I mean, when we say dry, we don't mean bone dry, but we mean it's not sopping wet.
Saturated.
And 6. And 10. 10. Okay, so let's start with you. How are you pad?
That's dry on the back, and it still has a lot to absorb on the top.
The Aunt Flo is completely dry on the back, and still looks like it could absorb a lot more. Mimi's Dreams has leaked quite badly through the back, actually. So that's disappointing, but it has leaked quite severely. So this is one that didn't really.
So that one is not very absorbent, actually.
No.
Big leak on the back.
But it could be, maybe, I don't know, but that's disappointing.
I mean, that one just has fleece and these two have PUL. So.
I would say these both have a lot of room to absorb. They both feel about the same saturation, so I'd say these two hold quite a bit. So the winners of our cloth pad absorbency test were these. These are the ones that are the most absorbent of their name, so if they say maybe moderate, you can definitely expect them to have moderate and maybe even heavy. Definitely heavy. I'd say these two were the least of them. They were still very absorbent, but I think these would be just moderates. But the rest could be
like
these.
Moderate to heavy.
Moderate to heavy, definitely. Well, these are just probably moderates. For me, they're probably a moderate to heavy, but that's because I'm very light. So the ones that didn't win were these. We have the Lady Pad, Mimi's Dream.
Femme Rouge? No.
Mama Jules Gems. Faithful Data Chains. Wings of Love. Cute and Simple, which actually held up pretty well.
Yeah, just do this.
And Pure Guitar Pad. And Essence of Eve. And the Mama Jules Gems. So I would say that out of these, not like they're not absorbent enough, but I would just consider them just a moderate. You know, they're just moderates. I'd like to say something about the ones that are backed in microfleece. These ones, if they had PUL on them, they could probably definitely a moderate to heavy, but because they just have microfleece, they're just a moderate. I think if the Essence of Eve or the Pure Guitar Pad or the Wings of Love had PUL on them, they could have definitely been a moderate to heavy.
Yeah.
So these two held up well for without PUL. But this one I was kind of disappointed that it leaked around the edge, so it means that this one doesn't have that much absorbency in it. It just kind of started to leak, but because it has PUL, it just had to go around the edges. So this one probably would be a lighter moderate. This one could have held a moderate, and this one, pretty good moderate. But all these I wouldn't consider moderates too heavy. These are just moderates. So if that was helpful to you, I'd say the biggest winner of them all was probably the Terra pads. That one was so absorbent, barely even wet.
Wet on the top, really
because
dry.
of the suede, but this feels like it has so much to give, like so much. So I thought when we first started the Terra pads would probably win because they're known to have lots of extra absorbency, so it makes them a little thicker. But if you're a heavy bleeder, if you get like a super Terra pads, you know that you're definitely going to be protected. So I hope this helped. If you have any more questions about any of these pads or any pads in general or anything, we'd be happy to answer them. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I hope this helped. Bye!